Live in high definition from Fox 58 in Bakersfield, this is breaking news.
Welcome into Eyewitness News on Fox 58. I'm Triolo. We are covering breaking news out of France right now as the iconic Notre Dame Cathedral is up in flames. We want to bring you out to a live look at the scene. Right now, a raging fire at a chemical plant near Houston is still sending some plumes of toxic chemicals into the air. Officials say it could take 2 days for the fire to burn itself out. Well, the fire started Sunday morning and 6 tanks are now burning. We want to bring you out to a live look out at that plume of smoke. Breaking overnight, a man is dead after being struck by a car in northeast Bakersfield. It happened just before 9 last night. Police say a man was walking outside a crosswalk. Now we want to take you out to breaking news. A shelter is in place that has been ordered for the area near a Texas chemical plant that burned for nearly 3 days. You are taking a live look out at a Houston freeway where traffic is being diverted. We have been following breaking news out of East Bakersfield, finally getting some information on what took place this morning. We want to bring you out to a live look at West Drive in Monterey. Right now, 7 sheriff's officers are there on scene, and they actually responded to that blue home. What we now know is that there was a reckless discharge. Officers then went into the home, did some investigating, and it looks like that's sort of where they're at within this process right now. You could see one officer even wearing gloves. If you need a bit of a boost, you might just be able to think about coffee. A new study out of the University of Toronto looked at the effects of the brain when people just thought about the drink. Today, we are joined with Congressman-elect TJ Cox of California's 21st District, which of course includes part of us here in Kern County. You know, in 7th grade, my elementary school, Southside School, had the Wizard of Oz for our school play, and I was actually Dorothy.
Were you really?
Yes, okay, but here's the thing. You know how she has those braids?
Yes.
My mom didn't know how to braid. And so we had to have our neighbor come over every morning before school and put the French braids in my hair. And I felt beautiful because I never had a braid in my hair before. And the best part, I think, back on that play is getting to have French braids.
Isn't there like a restaurant, the Hungry Bear?
I don't know. There's a game, the Hungry Hippo.
It's at Magic Mountain, the Hungry Bear restaurant. All right, next up, Hungry Hippos. That's a great game, by the way.
You press a little. That is insane,
59
Aaron.
hours and 6 minutes.
Don't forget those 6 minutes, because that's when you really feel it. 59, you can make it through.
I want to know who's going to do that.
I feel like if anyone, it'd be you. No? Would you do that?
No.
Even Aaron Perlman's tapping out.
My
All right, we
wife
want the real
might do
super
it.
fans. I do have to say, I love her new album.
Yeah, she's so talented.
Yeah. At like 2 a.m. when you're driving into the office, you gotta get something to wake you up, you know? And I'm here at Breckenridge Road in Mesquite Lane. Take a look behind me. This is the house where that suspect drove and shot a man and a woman. Now, family on scene last night told us that this was actually a father and a daughter, a very scary situation. I am live here at Mercy Hospital Southwest. Take a look at this. You can see it's a pretty quiet scene here at the hospital this morning, and that's good news. I'm here to calm your nerves because last night there was a call of an active shooter. I want you to take a look at what it looked like last night. Sarah, good morning. I am here on the Tejon Pass, and get a look at all of this snow. This is the first little bit sticking to our pavement this morning. Here you can get a look, though, down at the Grapevine. Right now, traffic is moving smoothly at this hour, but CHP is pacing traffic. Just to be sure, of course, we have Caltrans on standby. They're ready to throw brine down on the roads just in case to make sure everyone is safe. But this morning, I'm actually joined by CHP Sergeant Tyler with a little bit of information on how to stay safe on the roads. Good morning, Sergeant. And I want to show you things are getting pretty active. A lot of our morning has been spent waiting, but now volunteers are coming back from hitting the streets and counting members of our community that are homeless. Now, this is an incentive bag. Volunteers have been giving them out all morning. Inside are things like socks. Good morning, Sarah. Can you see me waving here in this screen? Well, take a look. We are actually using artificial intelligence this morning. I'm joined now with Chris with Motivo Engineering.
what is happening here? We have touch screens. This looks like a farming Apple store. I'm on Old River Road right now. Okay, so take a look at these very rainy conditions this morning. You could see as cars are still making their way, but I want to tell you and encourage you that people are moving at a slower pace this morning. So there you can see a lot of slick roadways. Our windshield wipers are really moving at a quick speed. I'm about to test out my farming skills this morning. Now, I'm going to let you know I'm a little nervous, but Jeffrey, walk me through this thing like what you can do if you come on out to the expo today. Farmers, they got to get fed, okay? So we are here with the Kaweah River. They've been here at the Ag Expo since 2004, serving up their famous peach cobbler. So we're going to show you how to make it. Good morning, ladies. Wow, that is amazing.
You gonna jump in?
Yeah, let me jump in. I'm going to jump in. It's just stand by. Okay, here we go. So I am in this tank. You probably can't see me here, but we're going to lift me up. And this is what I'll be staying in all morning, bringing you the latest of what cryotherapy is, the new fitness trend in Bakersfield. Dave, Rochelle, this may just look like any other factory in the Central Valley behind me, but just a few hours ago, it housed some of the biggest names in the Republican Party. Factory workers at EMC giving tours to some high-profile guests today.
I'd also like to introduce Mr. Paul Ryan, who is the Speaker of the House.
The Aerial Works platform facility, usually humming from machinery, now filled with the chatter of none other than the Secret Service.
I've never met him before, so it was an opportunity of a lifetime. You know what? It's great for Kerman and it's great for the state of California.
Mayville Engineering Company.
Speaker of the House Paul Ryan and California Congressman David Valadao meeting with EMC employees, hoping to use this factory as an example for Washington's tax cuts put into action.
Since we passed tax reform, we have seen so much good news. We have seen millions of workers get pay raises.
And how many here were affected by a $1,000 bonus?
Aside from Speaker Ryan's visit to this California city, he isn't too far from another high-profile member of Congress's hometown.
Both the Speaker and I have endorsed Kevin to run and to be Speaker. I don't think he's officially announced that he's running. We always obviously assume he is, and I think he's got a really good shot at it.
Congressman Kevin McCarthy of Kern County, someone Valadao says he'll do whatever he can to see as Speaker of the House.
We're going to keep working to make sure we have enough of a majority to make sure that that we do hear Speaker McCarthy from the Central Valley.
And Speaker Ryan says coming here with Congressman David Valadao and seeing these tax cuts put into action, well, that's what it's all about. Reporting live from Kerman, California, Ali Triolo, Eyewitness News. The Ventura County Fairgrounds is bustling today as better weather conditions signal a new chance to fight the Thomas Fire. Ventura County is blanketed in smoke as the Thomas Fire continues to burn, ripping thousands of residents from their homes.
So we just drove down to friends in Ventura, and then they were evacuated, so we drove here. And we slept in the car last night, and we're just hoping that our little valley is okay.
Resources are being pulled from around the state, even prisoners suiting up to take down this blaze.
And these inmates are in strike team configurations out here, actively fighting the wildland fire with CAL FIRE supervision.
The Ventura County Fairgrounds serving not only as an evacuation center, but an incident command center for fire crews.
We're really focused in the next few days making sure that everybody has the resources they need, food, water, shelter, that they're getting all the information that they possibly can about evacuations, about when they may be able to return to their homes.
Officials say conditions are better to fight the Thomas Fire today, with wind speeds settling down.
We're expecting slightly lower wind speeds today than we have in the last couple of days, but again, the winds are very shifty, and even a small amount of wind can really add to the fire behavior.
While an ember glow fills the sky, it's the humanity on this fairgrounds that shines brightest. Reporting in Ventura County, Ali Triolo. The Thomas Fire, now 148,000 acres, is 15% contained. You can see behind me those flames as firefighters work to battle this blaze, but they're doing so with the help of one local resident. Homes turn to ash, flames still ripping through Southern California as firefighters work tirelessly to put them out.
Usually we're wound down by now, and this is our time off.
not in California anymore. We're year-round.
As crews work long hours battling this blaze, they're getting help from a local dance teacher.
I thought I had a stressful job. This isn't anything compared to what they go through.
Hatoa started a fundraiser at the beginning of the week and has been handing out care packages to crews ever since.
Hi, we have bags with some snacks, eye drops, chapsticks and everything. Would you like one? The smile on his face, it means everything. It makes them feel good that people support them in what they do.
Hatoa, born and raised in Ventura, grateful for those protecting his home.
I've been raised here my whole life, and it hits the heart. So this is Ventura County family. We're a unique county, filled with unique people, filled with talented people, educated people.
He says while the month of December is clouded in smoke, it's the reason for the season that will help this community persevere.
Throughout this month, what we look forward to is the joy that Christmas brings, even through a disaster, a devastation such as this. Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa still has a spirit to it that allows us to say, hey, we can still push through this, we can continue, or as many have been saying, we can rise through the ashes.
And behind me, you're taking a live look out at those flames of the Thomas fire. But what Hatoa told me is he is hoping to spread resilience, hope, and the holiday spirit during one of the worst fires California has ever seen. Reporting live in Ojai, California, Ali Triolo, Eyewitness News. New numbers show homelessness in Kern County is up 9%, and even the federal government is taking notice. But today, I went beyond the statistic and spoke with locals directly involved with the homeless community. Here's what they have to say about what we can do to help.
Usually make menudo and bring it air in. And that's a 60-gallon pot. Let's set this down right here.
Husband and wife David and Michelle volunteer their time and cooking to the Bakersfield homeless community. In fact, they've been giving back since the 1980s.
Reach out a little deeper in your heart, because you could always make a difference in one person's life, even by a gesture or a good deed.
The federal government is stepping in, hoping to spur more good deeds by giving Kern County $5.5 million to help our communities rise in homelessness.
But it's for, extra beds. A lot of it is for emergency services and for transitional housing. So it is going directly to the issue.
The United Way of Kern County assisted the Homeless Collaborative in creating the proposal for this money. But Jill says the real issue in town is the way Bakersfield perceives people that are homeless.
To stop thinking of them as a subhuman category. These are our brothers and sisters on the street.
200 people at a time stay at the Bakersfield Homeless Center. Mark works there and says he hears this sentiment all of the time.
I think there's a common census here that a lot of the people feel like people look down on them because they've hit bad hard times. And maybe if people realize, some people, if you live paycheck to paycheck, you're just one paycheck away from being homeless.
Mark says adding more programs and shelters is the best way to make this money count. And Clarindy, who's used these services for over a year, sees their success firsthand.
Get your Section A, they help you find jobs, and they feed you 3 times a day.
Clarindy says Kern County needs more programs like the Bakersfield Homeless Center to tackle the rise in this population.
This shelter right here is pretty good, but it's not enough room for the whole people that's out there.
And in the meantime, David and Michelle will keep volunteering and encourage others to do the same.
If we can develop a trade center where we can
guide them,
guarantee them a trade when they leave, and keep them off the streets and focus on positive stuff, we'll have an impact.
She wants me to ask all of you, what's the average temperature of a sheep?
102.3.
Okay, good job.
Mr. Forshee is prepping members of the Kern River 4-H for this year's livestock auction. His recipe for success?
Head, heart, hands, and health. And to me, that means a lot.
These are the words that make up 4-H. All 34 clubs, close to 800 members, and over 300 volunteers right here in Kern County.
I've actually had 3 go through it, and they just learned so much responsibility. How much are you feeding them?
This is a livestock project. Kids receive an animal months before the fair and raise it to be auctioned off in September in hopes of earning their own money for things like college.
The Kern County Fair to me means showing all your hard work that you put into it.
But 4-H isn't the only group in town getting ready for this year's auction.
I wasn't in 4-H before. I started FFA last year.
This is Olivia's second time raising an animal through Future Farmers of America.
So you have to stick with it. They're going to be stubborn. They're just like little kids.
Olivia says FFA has helped her become a leader, and her teacher says this is the norm for all his students who go through the high school program.
And so there's lots of life skills that they learn along the way with raising an animal project.
Okay, take them back.
Such as maybe the hardest skill of all, learning to say goodbye.
They learn, and respect their food and understand where it came from. I mean, they get sad.
To get them in to sell them at the sale, and you'll see some of those little blue tears coming down their eyes.
But even though letting these animals go may be difficult, programs like FFA and 4-H are teaching something far greater than just how to care for an animal.
I think it's teaching them that life has a lot of things in store and that you have to part with things on occasion.
And the CEO of the Kern County Fair, who's seen these programs put into practice for generations, confirms all of this and more.
The kids, when they go through these programs, FFA, 4-H Grange, I mean, they're some of the most responsible kids I've ever seen.